See you later, Stinky. Hold on, let me turn up my brightness on here. I like to be able to see myself. How you doing? I'm actually gonna drink some water first before I show my little mobile, because it's a bit toasty in this closet. Oh my god. It's so warm. Because of the fact that Florida can't make up her damn mind on the weather situation. On any given day, it could be like 80 degrees in here because my dad turns on the heat because he gets cold. He turns on the heat and then turns it to 75, but if it's super hot at night, randomly, and then the next day it's hot, it shoots up in here to like 85 degrees, so I have no idea what we're doing anymore. I'm just trying to hang in there. I really am. Personally, I like to keep the apartment, if I'm being honest, 72, 71, somewhere in there, just consistently. Just consistently. Because if you keep it 72, 71 consistently, you have less problems. If you're constantly upping or lowering the temperature, I feel like you get lost in the sauce, so to speak. I was moved to bring in my little friend today. My little tortoise totem. Let's see. Can you guys see? Yeah, look. Isn't he cute and derpy? I love him. And he is here to remind you to slow down and don't feel the need to rush in your life. You know, like, the time is going to pass, yes, but at the same time, really enjoying the moment that you're in is really going to give you like what you're looking for. I just feel like if he's looking like that, there we go. Yeah, I'm here for it. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you're doing well. For those of you who are new here, who are here from other various platforms, or you just found a video and subscribed, thank you for doing so. You never have to like, subscribe, or comment, but I appreciate it greatly. I'm just here sharing my day-to-day, my personal stories in a vulnerable and as authentic as I can get it manner. And I tend to do a lot of like spiritual talk too, because that's just the journey I'm on right now. So the journey I've chosen. So these videos are unscripted and I just kind of go for it. Last night's video was really short because I was feeling lovely. I was so ready to go to bed. I got in here and I realized too many times that my eyes were closed and I was like, oh no, like that's how you know. Like if you've been drinking or like if you've gotten high, then you know when you start feeling too good and you're like, wait a minute, I gotta slow down. And you're like, oh no, sleep is coming. So yes, that is primarily why last night's video was so incredibly short, because I was feeling lovely and that sleep was very powerful. I had a dream. My dreams have been ringing in both my ears. My dreams have been very powerful as of late, and by powerful I just mean they're more vivid than they've been before. There was some symbolism in my dream, and when I looked it up and I went searching for that symbolism, I realized it was saying I needed to do some deep diving into my emotions. 4 minutes and 4 seconds as I say that. So somebody here has a really good foundation of what they're doing in their life. Some of you may not have a good foundation, but you're moving towards it. 4 minutes and 14 seconds as I say that. And so something that is going to help you, that definitely helped me today, is doing a deep dive of your own emotions, getting into the nitty-gritty of that ocean that is your mind. For the most part, I tend to believe that I know where I'm at emotionally. I'm like, I got this. It's totally okay, right? Yeah, it's totally okay. But because sometimes I don't know, 4 minutes and 44 seconds as I say this, sometimes I'm not sure where I'm at and I'm not sure what's going on. And so I will ask like my sister to do a tarot card reading for me, because she is very locked in. She's very locked in. and she did a tarot card reading for me today, and essentially my ears are ringing. So I don't know, whoever you are who are watching this right now, I love you. You are loved, you are seen, you are heard. You need to listen. You need to listen to your intuition. There's some stuff going on for you, with you. Maybe you're in a situation where you've got like a lot of big decisions that you're trying to make right now. Maybe you're sick. If you're not feeling well, I'm sorry. I really am. I hope you feel better. Yeah, if you've got some stomach problems going on, I would do the brat diet. So I think that's bread, rice, and I can't remember what the last two letters stand for, but essentially you do like food that is really bland. So I like to do potatoes. I'll get regular, 5 minutes and 5 seconds. So change. Something's happening with change with somebody, maybe? Maybe you're sick and your body. Okay. I'm feeling that somebody is sick, and so your body is naturally re-regulating. So what's happened is you've stepped into a space where you are, stay with me. It's coming in quick. You're in a space where you have been thinking about changes that you're making, and you've been very particular about those changes. And the reason you're sick is because your body is starting over. Your body is getting sick, and you are purging all of the negative energy that's in your body. You're purging the food. You're purging a lot of unhealthy stuff right now. So as you are coming back and as you're healing yourself, get very particular about the food that you eat and what you drink. Wow. My ears are ringing, like it's consistent. So yeah, hello, hi to you. That's crazy. This is weird. Because usually I feel like I'm just talking to my phone and I'm talking to like a collective, but I feel like I'm talking to a person right now. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Hope you're feeling good. See you later, Stinky. I don't mean to call you Stinky. Maybe I do. Stinkabutt. I don't know. Wow, this is weird. I was like, okay. I specifically put these earrings on, and I placed the intention on them that I would hear more. And I don't think I was prepared. I be doing stuff where I place intention on things and I'm like, yes, protect me as I go outside. Or yes, put some glamour magic on it because I'm feeling kind of pooty today. So, let me throw. Nah, but this, I was like, may these earrings be conduits for me to hear the voices. Oh my gosh. Wow. Hello. Yeah, so eat what I like to do with wow, like it's getting higher. So with the potatoes that I like to do, I will go and I'll wash them, and I will put them in the microwave for 5 minutes, depending upon how big the potato is. I'll put it in the microwave for 5 minutes. Make sure you poke holes in it first. Poke holes in it with a fork, get the holes all around, wash it off, put it in the microwave for 5 minutes, and then I like to put a little bit of butter on it so that it's not like hard and dry, and then I will put just salt and pepper on it, and I'll eat that, and that's good for stomach. If you're having stomach problems right now, saltines are really good. Saltines, Gatorade, I personally prefer blue or the red Gatorade, ginger ale, and I'm not talking about Canada Dry, I'm talking about, I think it's Schweppes, that's the stronger of the two. So have that if you're having stomach problems. Oh, I wish I could look it up. If you're having like a lot of congestion problems right now, maybe you've got some clarity stuff. You need to get clear on some things. Maybe clear about where you're going, where you're headed. Yeah. This is wild. Like, I'm seeing a I'm seeing like a corridor and then a wall. So maybe somebody's on a journey and they feel like they've run into a wall or something, and your body is kind of very, very seriously physically responding to said wall. Or no, your body is hitting you with this wall. But I'm sorry, work with me on this one, because usually the way that this happens is I will feel like a download during or before, I do the whole close my eyes things and I'm feeling it, but this is just a ringing in the ears. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening, if I'm being honest with you. I'm just speaking on what comes to mind. I'm seeing tile floors, white tile floors. Mopping. Maybe somebody's run into a wall and they're feeling kind of lost right now, and they're sick and everything. Shit's kind of hitting the fan right now. I'm so sorry. My sister just came back in from outside. I am so sorry if this is what you're going through. Ooh, hot tea, hot ginger tea also helps. Throat coat is a brand of tea that is absolutely disgusting, and I would not wish it upon my enemy to drink it, but it does help. A lot of vocalists that I know use it, and I've used it back when I was singing and performing a lot, and I would get a sore throat. I would drink throat coat. It's nasty. It's licorice based, but it helps. It's good. Okay, give me a second, because this ringing is ridiculous. I am listening. Is it you? Are you doing this? Did I make a mistake setting you up there? I don't know what's going on. I'ma just keep going, and maybe that will come to me at some point. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's for me. Maybe it's a warning. Maybe it's a warning. I hope it's not a warning. I would love to be the supervillain who spins around in a chair and I actually have like a small box turtle or something, and I'm petting the box turtle and I'm like, yes, you've stumbled into my lair. Well met, Bond. You thought I wouldn't know who you were? You literally tell every woman who you think has body your first name and last name. Fuck a code name, am I right? I always wondered that. I was always like, why does he roll up into places and they're like, oh, I'm Natasha, and he's like, I'm Bond. James Bond. First and last name? Bro, you're braver than I. In hostile enemy territory and your first name, last name in it? Okay, you do you, but as a spy, I wouldn't even be talking to people. Why are you out here talking to folk? Like, why are you trying to? But I guess he has to wear the suits. He's got to drive the Aston Martin. He's got to have his watches. Like, I get it. He's got to be out here, playboy extraordinaire. But at the same time, you a spy. Shh. You're not supposed to be out here telling everybody your name. Bond, James Bond. My cell phone number is 407. Like, why? Bro, chill out. Okay, so where was I before the ringing started? What was I talking about? I don't remember. We may never get it back. Let's just keep on trucking. 14 minutes and 14 seconds as I say that. Let's keep trucking. So, my sister did a tarot card reading for me, and essentially it was saying, let me remember the cards. It was like, you're in a really great creative space right now. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it was like, you need to focus on balance. And I was like, okay, that is also something that's incredibly important. Being balanced and like focusing on balance is so hard for me, because I'm always like, all right, so I'm focusing on this back. Oh, wait, no, I gotta focus on this back. Oh, no, wait. What am I? Like, I always feel like that's what I'm doing. So whenever I get the card that represents balance, internal and external balance, I'm like, ugh. And really, that card is the card means I'm really trying to talk around the ringing in my ear right now. So that's what's happening. The card represents like balancing your internal and your external. And really what it is it's getting good in here. Because in here and out here are not two different places. It's the same plane of existence. So if you are lost and confused in your internal self, then usually your life tends to reflect that in some way, and vice versa. But it's the same plane, in my opinion. So one of the paradigm shifts that I've been trying to focus on is there is no in here and out here. It's all one plane of existence. So instead of saying, oh, let me get good inside and then, focus on the physical later, it's like the way I will view it is I will think, let's focus on the inside. The outside will feel different and will be different based on how I'm doing on the inside. It's all the same. It's like a direct, what do you call it? Bro, this ringing in my ear is distracting as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is actually a little frustrating because I want to be able to just talk. Bro, on some authentic shit, it's been hard because I've been having to put my past life to bed. And I said that in a video night before last, I believe, where I was like, hey, if you're thinking about your exes and you're doing all this stuff, stop that. Things are always easier said than done. It's always easier said than done. I can sit here in this closet and tell you all kinds of things, but then when I leave this closet and I go back to my regular life, that shit is hard. I'm not going to hold you on this. It's so hard when the entirety of your past has been wrapped up in another person, 17 minutes and 17 seconds. So when your life has been wrapped up in another person for however many years because you shared finances, you shared kids, you shared a pet, you shared a house, you shared, maybe you both worked for the same company or you had a company together, it is difficult to just say, hey, yo, I'm not going to think about that or talk about that anymore. And for me, I was struggling. And then my sister tells me, when I asked her, I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like I refer to my past frequently as examples of things that have happened to me in order to be vulnerable with you all. And she said, I think maybe what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to talk about, just break it down into Spark Notes. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, do it as kind of like a summary, like an overview. Sporks. She was saying, focus more on you and your changes and less about the other people, because they, at the end of the day, 18 minutes and 18 seconds, are a non-issue. Where you are going and where you're at right now does not concern past people. Now, if you are having people come up from your past and they're trying to talk to you and they ignored you or they weren't very good at keeping up before, your spirit is the only spirit that's going to be able to properly judge that situation. However, something that I realized was, usually what happens cyclically, and it's happened to me for the past 8 years, is that when I'm in a really good place and I'm feeling really good about the direction that I'm going, people who have ignored me or people who I tried to reach out to or who I tried to talk to will suddenly come back, and they'll come back in full force. They'll want to text all the time. They'll want to talk all the time. People want to call me, and I'm like, hey, yo, where were you 6 months ago when I was trying to talk to you? And I really needed that support during that time. 19 minutes and 19 seconds, so maybe this is something that you have dealt with. 9 represents endings and 1 represents beginnings. So I feel like we're going down a path that we need to go down here. And when it comes to past people, I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I have no venom. I have no ill will. In fact, I release everybody with love, because the truth of the matter is I don't have it in me to hold grudges, if I'm being like 100% honest, because I do believe in karma. I do believe that it really does affect my spirit if I'm holding on to negative bullshit for too long. But when these people come back, my spirit recently, over the past week, has been like, so I'm just checking to see if you've learned a lesson. It's not necessarily a test that somebody who is not you is giving you. What is currently happening is situations are being brought back to you, by your higher self, to confirm that you actually want the changes that you want. Because a lot of us will say we want new shit. We'll say we want that soulmate. We'll say we want that dream job. We'll say we want that move into that beautiful house. We'll say that we want that, I don't know, new skateboard or new longboard. We'll say that we want that new motorcycle. We say we want new shit and we want to do something different from what we've done before. However, when we are met with the past, what we typically do is we break under pressure. So an ex comes back. Y'all broke up for a reason. You broke up for a reason. But then the ex comes back, and because there's been time there, you forgot what happened. You forgot what transpired. And now you're all up in your fifis. And you're like, talking to her or him or them is fine. It's fine. And before you know it, you're hopping a flight. Or you're back in the car. You're making a trip there, and you're like, what's going on? And I'm over here like, I don't know, fam. What are you doing? That's gas money that you spending to go back 21 minutes and 21 seconds as I say this. That's gas money that you're spending to go backwards. Again, only your spirit is going to let you know. Only your spirit is going to read the situation. So I can't tell you what you should or should not do in that situation. But I have a feeling some of y'all are getting repeat customers, if you will. People who definitely were not giving any energy to you or your situation. Or maybe they did. They gave a little bit of energy, but they were not giving as much as, say, the people who you deal with now are giving. And it's not to say anybody's better or worse. It's just where you're at right now. You have to remember not everybody from your past can go with you. They can't. I read something today that was on, I think it was Instagram, because that's primarily what I've been using for the past couple of years. I have consistently been using Instagram because that's where a majority of the people, 22 minutes and 22 seconds as I say this, that's the majority of the people that I have known. That's where we're at. Like, that's where everybody is. I don't really use Facebook like that. Like, I just don't. But yeah, so I was on Instagram, and the post said, if you are at a 3 and a person is at a 3 when it comes to just where you are in life, you get each other because you're both at a 3. If you're at a 7 and a person is at a 3, you can understand where that person is because you've been at a 3 before. 23 minutes as I say this. But that person cannot understand you because a 3 has never been a 7 before. They have not been, and they're not where you're at. Again, this is not a situation of better or worse. This is literally just when it comes to phases in your life. Everybody gets to certain phases at a different time. And people want different things. 23 minutes and 23 seconds as I'm about to say this. I am all about soul mates. That is what I am looking for. And by looking for, I don't actually mean that I'm looking for it. That is what I am bringing into my space, is a soul mate. That's what I'm looking for. Because that's what I've been wanting since I was like 9. I remember having dreams about this type of love and knowing that it is there for me to have. And so I'm not going to entertain anybody that I'm not feeling some type of strong connection with. It's not going to happen because that's where I'm wanting to be. If I was entertaining people, if I was hanging out with people, I would be communicating to the universe that that's not really what I want. I'm saying that I want a soulmate, but I'm actually out here playing games. We go back to what I had said in a video a while ago. How bad do you want change? Do you want it bad enough to pay for it? Because your future, 24 minutes and 24 seconds as I say this, the thing that you want is going to cost you, my love. And what it is going to cost you is the shit you've been entertaining before. It's the stuff you've been doing before. That's what it's going to cost you. A lot of people are like, oh, well, that's not too hard. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Think about something that you do every day right now. Whether that be gaming, whether that be, I don't know, eating a certain snack or a certain food. And now imagine you have to stop that. You have to stop that thing because you want something else. But you don't get that new thing unless you give up this old thing. It's easy when the old thing is tattered and worn. It's easy when the old thing, you can kind of see that you're not really interested in it anymore. It's easy to give it up at that point. It's hard to give it up when that thing still looks shiny as the day you first met it. That person from your past, especially if they're on some, I've been working on myself and things are better. Changed behavior is your example. Changed behavior will always be. That is how you know if change has actually taken place. We can talk so much shit. It costs you nothing to tell somebody something. It costs you nothing. I could say so many things on this video right now. I don't know. I don't know why my first thought was, I got a big dick. That's not the case. That's not the case. It's not the case. I am very happy to be built the way I'm built. But people can tell you anything. They can tell you anything. But it's behavior. It's behavior that is what you should be paying attention to. 26 minutes and 26 seconds as I say that. Changed behavior. My sister always says, she's like, you know what? I don't care for apologies. I don't really care for I love you. Those things mean nothing to her. When she hears it, because she hears it, people saying it to each other all the time. People will say it to you whenever. But for her, she says it's the behavior. If you're sorry and I see changed behavior and I see you working on it, that's how I know you're actually sorry. It cost you nothing to say sorry to me. It cost you nothing. To say I love you, to somebody, we throw that around all the time. All the time. We throw around I love you so loosely. Now, some people don't. Some people are very serious and intentional about that. And if you're one of these people, may your pillow be cold on both sides every night. May any time you are looking for a drink, it's nice and cool for you. It's not lukewarm unless that's what you prefer. May you have so many just comfortable nights of sleep where you get in the bed and you just happen to fall in the perfect position. May that be your reality, because bless you, my love. But the truth of the matter is most people, it's the behavior that we have to see in order to know if that change is real. So if you're currently in a situation where you are kind of stressing because you've got past people coming back because they want to deal with you, if you've been making any changes to your life, of course they want to deal with you, my love. Of course they want to deal with you. You're shining bright like a diamond, and energy recognizes other energy. I had this visual the other day of a person who's kind of rising up from the ashes. And that person shines super bright, like blinding. And what happens when a bright light pops up? I think it was the Oracle Fairy who said this, and she said it. And she said, when a bright light pops up, what's attracted to that light? Flies, moths, bugs, insects, spiders. It can be good stuff, but it is sometimes not good stuff. And sometimes when we're making changes and we're asking for things, we think everything that comes down the pipeline is for us, and that's not the case. There's some things that are there as a, okay, so are you going to accept this? Because if you accept this, this is you doing what you've done before. Or are you going to say, no, we're doing other stuff right now? His name is Tortoise. Anyways. So yes, my love, if you are not feeling well, part of it is because you've just 29 minutes and 29 seconds as I say this. Part of it is because you've been carrying around some negative weight with you, and it's finally affecting your body. That's why you got sick. There's something you're carrying around, and I think it's time for you to let it go. I think that's why you're in the situation that you're in right now, physically. If you're not sick, Thank you for being here anyways. It's just weird how I'll get very like specific information and I'm like, at some point somebody gonna see this. But I mean, the immediate people who I deal with who watch my stuff, like usually I'll get one person every like what 5 or 6 videos who's like, this is exactly what I needed. And I'm like, fuck yes. One. We got one person where we benefited one person. But then for the most part, most of the time people are just like, yeah, you know, that's right. I hear you, bruh. Like, it's more just like, you know, we're all kind of engaging, I guess. 30 minutes and 30 seconds as I say that. And I love the engagement. I love seeing you guys' comments. I love reading them. In my anime and spirituality video, somebody commented about the fact that they have never considered it, but there are so oftentimes in anime where they talk about the human spirit and spirituality, and I was like, yeah, see, you get it, you understand. I think it was, what is it, Zuki, the person who creates those, I still haven't gone. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna comment. I watched a part of one of your videos, and I was in the middle of watching it, and then I had to go make dinner. And I'm one of those people to where if I'm interrupted from a task that I'm doing and other stuff pops up, I'm like, okay, I've got to do this, and sometimes I'll forget to come back to what I was saying. This happens a lot in the videos that I do where I'll be forgetting to come back to what I was saying. But yes, my love, 31 minutes and 31 seconds. Oh, I don't know who's watching this, but hello. Hello to you. I see you through the camera. I see you sitting there in your red t-shirt. Wouldn't that be scary? Wouldn't that be scary if I was able to say, hi, such and such, and I said your name and I told you exactly what you were wearing? I always have like a small fear that that's gonna happen. Like when I'm watching a video where people are like, what up, guys? And they're talking to the audience, I'm always afraid they're gonna be like, Yasha, what are you doing? Why are you picking your nose? And I'm gonna be like, first off, why would you front me like that? You know, I thought nobody could see me. I was thinking today about, this is a random thought, but I was thinking today about all of like the sign-ons that I hear, like people's intros to videos. So like Jacksepticeye is top of the morning to you. And then Superhero Mike Bro here, like he does the horror videos. And then who else? There are others. I swear there are others, but my mind is drawing a blank right now. I like Berlin's. I like Berleezy's. He goes, hey, hi. His one is, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Welcome back. I like that one, but he also usually will be like, how you doing? Are you feeling good? Did you wash your butt? I'm like, you know what, Berlin? That's a solid ass question. That's a solid ass question for people on YouTube, because we don't know. I wash my butt. I'm very particular about that. I try to make sure everything is copacetic and taken care of. Showering, I try to make sure I'm always showered. Sometimes it's a pain because I got a whole routine that happens before I go in and while I'm in there and after I come out. It is a whole situation. We got 2 different soaps. We got 3 different lotions. 33 minutes and 33 seconds as I say that. So 3 is significant for somebody in this chat. In this comment section. If you've been seeing a lot of 3s, I believe 3s represent Trinity, unity, mind, body, soul, past, present, future. 3 to me also represents love. It's funny because I'll usually put a certain number of ice cubes in my water depending upon the energy that I want to bring to myself. So for a week, I was just doing 2 ice cubes. And then tonight I did 3. So if 3 is your lucky number, that's amazing. I love the number 3. It's just so great. It reminds me of the times table song when I was in the 2nd grade. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Bro, I swear I'll be on here just yapping and yapping and yapping. If this is your first time here and you're still watching, first off, kudos to you for having this type of an attention span, 34 minutes and 34 seconds. But also, thank you again for being here. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. Something I was thinking about tonight as I was cleaning the kitchen here. I was putting food away and I was cleaning the kitchen, and I thought to myself, why do I do this? Like, why do I, kind of clean, and why do I like keep, certain stuff clean when I'm, here in this type of situation where I am looking to move out of my parents' abode, and I'm doing the whole boundary setting thing with my parents where, like, if I don't like how I'm being spoken to, because you do have that right. Anybody who is in a hierarchy above you, parents included, there is a way that you speak to people. And while I can respect what a person is saying, if you are being disrespectful, we gotta have a conversation about that. We gotta have a conversation, especially because I'm an adult now. And I know some people culturally are like, no, your elders can talk to you however you want. That don't work for me. It doesn't work for me, because for me, my elders are also people who I love and who I care for. And I actually did have an elder who I very kindly checked, who didn't like it, but then they later were checked by a friend of theirs. And they were like, you shouldn't be talking to people like that. And they were shocked. And I was like, yeah, if I'm telling you that what you're doing isn't okay, it's not just because I'm setting the boundary. It's because when you leave my presence, other people can see you. The attitude that you have here, people can only hide who they really are for a little bit. The older you get, the more obvious it becomes the type of person that you are and the type of beliefs that you have, which is why at the ripe age of 31, I'm really trying to make sure I am on my P's and Q's as far as who do I want to be? What is the type of person I want to portray as I'm moving through my life? It's so important. So I was asking myself, why, I'm setting all these boundaries, doing this stuff. Why am I so like, let me make sure I'm hugging them and I'm kissing them goodnight and I'm cleaning things? Why am I doing all that? And I thought to myself, and really what it is, for me, when I am leaving a situation, I'm about to get emotional, vulnerability moment. When I am leaving a situation that has taken care of me, or even a situation that hasn't taken care of me, I am eternally grateful for all of the things that I learn in the locations that I'm at. And I'm eternally grateful for the lessons I learn from each person who has come into and out of my life. And part of the way that I show gratitude is I like to leave on a positive note. I'm the person who will turn in 2 weeks at a job, even if the job mistreated me. Because for me, I feel better when I leave situations better than when I left it. I have yet to be in a situation where I did not turn into 2 weeks. I think that only happened once, and I was at the beginning of training, and somebody pulled out a serious drug during training, and I was like, oh, hell no. And then people started arguing and fighting, and somebody threatened to slap me, and I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I don't think so. So I left, but that's because physically I was feeling threatened. But I prefer, and I know some people don't want to do this, and you are totally justified. If you're a person who's like, fuck them, I'm out, you are fully justified, and I support you, telling them where they can stick it and going to where you need to go if you've been mistreated. I fully support that. But for me, in my own life, because I'm the type of person who tends to be very, I can see why people do what they do. I can understand why people act the way they act. This is why I'm very big into psychology, is because for me, no, I don't agree with things that people do, but I can see why it's done. So 38 minutes and 38 seconds as I say this, I'm not super big on judging everybody for what they do, because all it takes is a couple different situations and I may have been that person. There's like a quote in the Bible. It's like, I forget exactly what it is, but essentially it says, but for the grace of God, there go I, or something like that. And it's essentially saying that in a different situation, that could have been me. And because I'm grateful it's not me, and because I'm in the place where I have the ability to be compassionate, to give the benefit of the doubt, to understand where people are coming from, I prefer to act in a way that if I reflect back, I'm happy with it. I want to be happy with the way that I deal with situations. And I have a feeling somebody who's watching this is about to move into a different situation, whether that be a new relationship, again, whether that be a promotion, or whether that be you're leaving a job to start your own company, whatever the new situation is. Think about how you want to leave that situation. Because I think how you start is how you finish. And how you leave a situation, I think that will affect how you begin a new situation. That's just me. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. In all of these videos, I could be wrong as 2 left feet. And I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind when people tell me that I'm wrong. Because there's a very large part of me that's like, that's possible. That's possible. Nah, if I am wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. I'm like, damn. Struck out on that one. But in this case, for me, that's simply how I like to live. I want to leave situations in a way that I'm happy with. Now, I have become big, very big, on leaving situations that are not benefiting me and not announcing my departure. If I have receipts of constantly doing what I need to do in that scenario and I'm being given nothing, I don't announce my departure. It's like the people who are like, guys, I can't fucking stand social media. It's of the devil. I'm out. Y'all ain't never gonna see me again. Or people who are like, I'm taking a break. I'm just so stressed. Now, for some people, they need to do this. For people who have very large followings who care about them and they're like, where did you go? Like, and they get really nervous. I understand that. But for a lot of people, back when I was on TikTok, like 2 years ago, people used to be like, I'm out of here. And I'm like, you got like 2 followers and they don't even talk to you like that. What do you mean? Why are you announcing your departure? You could just leave, bro. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to justify what you're doing. So, but for me, when I leave certain situations, especially if I've been like, okay, hey, so I would prefer to be treated this way. No? Okay. So I'm going to say it again. I would prefer for this. No? Okay. All right. One more time. I would really, okay, bye. Like I just dip. I dip. My thing is, why would you stay in a situation where you do not feel safe, comfortable, or loved? If you have to be there for now, I get that. But if you have the opportunity to leave a relationship or leave a situation that is not benefiting you, and by benefiting you, I mean you're not feeling loved, you're not feeling protected, you're not feeling supported. If you have been doing the personal work and you've been like, maybe it's me, and you've really searched, and you're like, you know what, I've contributed to this, but this person's definitely not making any changes. Again, don't take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I'm big on leaving situations where I do not feel welcome. It's a safety thing. Because I have been historically in friend groups where I looked around and I was like, oh no, these people would leave me out there. It's one of the scariest things if you've never been in that situation. If you've never been in a situation where you look around, it's late at night, everybody's intoxicated in some way, and people are starting to make really scary comments, and you look around and you're like, hey, yo, I didn't drive here. That person's my ride. It is the scariest shit. You've got to make sure you're around people you feel safe with, bro. You really do. You really do. And that's for everybody. That's for everybody. I don't care who you are. You want to have people around you who you feel safe with, you feel supported, you feel protected. You know that if you were in some situation where you got knocked out or something, that person's not going to have you in some weird compromising positions. They're going to protect you and they're going to have your back. I talk about that so much on here because I've watched really good people or people who are like just really solid people. I've watched them be mistreated by their friend groups. I've watched them, particularly, well, it's not even particularly women. Or, you know, people who are, you know, non-binary. I've seen it happen to men, too. 43 minutes and 43 seconds. I've seen men who are in friend groups, and their friend groups constantly shit on them. And I've heard men say, well, this is just the nature of the male relationship. But if your boy is quiet, like he's usually a joker, and he's quiet, and y'all keep coming at your boy. Get your head out, get your mind out of the gutter. And people keep bullying this person, and then y'all wonder why men be so lonely and sad. It's because they're not receiving the support. You gotta have solid friendships, bro. I don't care how long you've known somebody. I really don't. There's a difference between loyalty and just being a rug that you're letting people walk all over you. 44 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of your energy and your surroundings. Please open your eyes to people who are siphoning your energy and who secretly don't want to see you win. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. All you have to do is look at what people say to you. People are not great at hiding who they are. The normal person is not great at hiding who they are. Now, if they're a sociopath or a psychopath, we have entered a whole new arena, friend. I can't speak for them. I can't speak for them. I think one of my greatest fears was that I would end up dating or being married to like a sociopath or a psychopath and being like, I would not know for years. We would have children, we'd have grandchildren, and this person turns around and decides they just want to take me out in the middle of the night. And I've been like, damn, I trusted you. I loved you. Anyways, I'm not running, so like I don't even know what I would do in that situation. This is another reason why I get super specific about the spiritual, because sometimes you be seeing shit before it happens and you be feeling stuff too. I'm gonna have some more water. This is a very interesting video. I didn't think we were gonna hit these topics in this video. Honestly, I didn't think this video was gonna be this long either. I thought it was gonna be another short one. But yeah, I think the reason there's certain messages I'm saying over and over again is because 45 minutes and 45 seconds as I was about to say this, I believe that there are people who are not watching all of my videos in order, and they're not gonna watch all of my videos. So there are certain messages that they're gonna hit somebody for the first time, and so when I'm doing these videos, I am moved to repeat something that I've said before, because they're not gonna go back and watch the other video, because maybe what I said in the other video was only a small part. I don't know. But yeah, bro, take care of your space. Take care of your space. If somebody calls you their friend, or if they call you, if they say, I'm your friend, be like, that remains to be seen, bruh. That remains to be seen. I gotta check your credentials. And then if you have those types of friends and you have people that you can trust, waste no time. Text them right now and be like, I love the fuck out of you. Be like, listen, if you were right here, if you were with me right now, I would give you a big old kiss on your forehead. 46 minutes and 46 seconds. So I felt in my spirit, somebody watching this, your friend got a big ass forehead and you love them for it. That's real estate. Big foreheads are real estate for kisses, bro. Bro, kiss your friends. Is that an ant? Nah, homie. We're not doing that. I know it's cold outside. I always know that it gets cold outside when I start seeing more ants. Don't crawl on me. I'ma smush you. I always wonder if ants be like, it's a giant woman. She's gorgeous. Let's not even go down that path. But if you have friends that you love and they got big foreheads and big noses, love on them. That's real estate. People with big noses. I love it. Bruh. Bring your face here so I can kiss you all over your face. Like when people were talking about how Rihanna has a big forehead, I was like, that's just more room for kisses, bro. That's more real estate. That's more real estate. Let's go. Let's go. Kiss your people. Hug your people. Love on your people. Let them know you care. And I read something today. It's like, don't do it because like you feel like they might not be here or, you know, anything negative like that. It really is. You might as well. Like, they're there. You know? The amount of people that I've seen shoot a text to a friend and been like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I love you and I was thinking about you today. And they'll get a text back like, oh, I can't, what? Really? There's so many people who it's like, they know I love them. But don't we all feel good when we get a text from our people that lets us know that they appreciate our presence, that they love us? I'm all for it. I have an aunt in particular who is dope. And whenever I think about her, I text her. So I'm probably going to text her probably tomorrow because it's late. But when I think about her, I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm not really in a position to have a full-blown conversation right now, but I just want to let you know I love you and I respect you. And you've changed my life in these ways. It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. I already spend hella time on my phone and laptop, so why not? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I hope you feel better if you are sick. If somebody watching this is sick right now, I really do hope you feel better. I'm sending all the loving vibes to you, and just know that this illness, once you feel better, it's going to mark a new chapter. It's going to mark the beginning. I think for me, when I have been sick, that is what I look forward to. I look forward to the morning that I wake up and I can tell it's leaving my system. And I'm like, fuck yes, I can finally breathe out of one nostril and I'm not leaking everywhere like a fire hydrant through my nose and I'm crying all the time. Like everything is fucking good. It's golden. And then the first day that I feel back to 100%. Now, as a warning, if you currently have the flu, if you have COVID, if you have neurovirus or anything like that, okay, the first day that you feel 100%, I'm gonna need you to take it easy, because there are a lot of people who, as soon as they feel good, they're off. You can't stop them. They're working at 100% capacity and then they come back sicker the next day. So just take it easy. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to slow down. Slow down. You ain't gotta be moving that fast. Slow your ass down. You ain't gotta be moving that fast. It ain't that deep, bruh. It is not that deep ever. My favorite types of tortoises are the there's one that starts with an A, I think, but like the Galapagos tortoises, like the really big ones. I love them so much. They're so slow and they're so big. And I'm like, come, let me kiss your little bald, wrinkly head. They're so fucking cute, bro. I used to want to have ferrets, and then I was told by the person at the pet store, they were like, yeah, no, ferrets will get into anything. A lot of ferrets unfortunately pass away because they wedge themselves into places they can't get out of. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I lost 6 hamsters as a child. I had 4 siblings, so the 6 hamsters were... I actually don't know why we had 6. I need to ask my parents about that. Why did we have 6? We didn't need that many. I remember one day I was at home by myself. This was when I first started being homeschooled. So like my siblings were all at school and my parents were at work and I was homeschooling myself because the program that we chose made it easy for you to do that. And so I was at home by myself and I took one of the hamsters out of the cage and I was like playing with it. And then it bit me. Because apparently it was on that timing. And when it bit me, I dropped him and he scurried off really fucking fast and I couldn't find him. And I was so scared. So I went and I laid out raisins and I put peanut butter on them and I laid them out. I don't know if that's toxic to hamsters. I was a child. I did not know. I had to be like 10 maybe, 9 or 10. And I put these raisins out and in every room I led them out and then I just kind of surveyed the house and then I found him and I was able to put him back into the cage and nobody knew because I picked up all the raisins and everything. But that hamster bite hurt, bro. It hurt. I was so damaged. I was like, I don't even know if I want to fuck with hamsters anymore after that situation. Never again. I've had hamsters. I've had fish. We had a dog and her name was Sarayu. And she was hypoallergenic. Oh, 52 minutes and 52 seconds. As I'm going to say this, she was our first dog. And actually, she was our family's only dog. Because I, growing up, was highly allergic to cats and dogs. And so my parents came back right before Christmas one day. And my mom opened up her coat. And it was the smallest little teacup Maltipoo. And I held her and I fell in love. I cried. I was so happy. And she lived for, if I'm not mistaken, 8 months. And then I found out that she had canine leukemia. I came back home at one point and she was just kind of sitting there in the cage. And I was like, what's going on? And I could tell she was not feeling well. And that broke me when she passed. That absolutely destroyed my spirit. I did not move on for many years. For many years, I did not move on. I actually still have, we had her cremated. Because what happened was we wanted to, like she was going to have a blood transfusion and the donor didn't make it in time. But we had her cremated and I was what? I think I was 16 because I did a photo shoot with her. Like I brought her to the photo shoot and I was taking like Sweet 16 pictures and she was in my pictures with me. So I have photos of her and she was just so sweet. She was so precious. Like I felt like she could understand me. I loved that dog. I loved her so much. And I still have her. And she has been, because I've moved so much, I just haven't had a place to put her. So my hope is that I will be able to at some point get settled, and then I can have her on her little ofrenda where she can be comfortable. Yeah, I get very attached. I get very attached to animals far quicker than people, if I'm being honest, because there's just a purity there. There's just a purity of energy that exists there. My sister has one, two, three dogs. She has 3 dogs, quite a few chickens. The dogs are precious. 2 of them are pit bull mixes, and then one, I have no idea what he is. He's huge. But as a person who's had pit mixes, I will tell you right now, they are the biggest babies. I think that aggressive dogs are either not disciplined at all, and so they walk around anxious, so they're very aggressive, or they're trained to be aggressive, because pit bulls are such babies. 55 minutes and 55 seconds as I say this. If you have a pit bull, please put your experience in the comments with your pit bull. I would like to know your pit bull's name, and I would like to know what their attitude is, because they're such big babies. Like, oh my gosh, like crawl up into your lap and they're like, oh, I'm a small dog. No, you are not. No, you are not. Big rusty ass in my lap. Bruh. But I love it. I love cuddling. That's why I'm gonna have a cat. I'm gonna have a cat because I love the cuddles. And I know a lot of people are like, well, some cats don't like to cuddle. That's true. But I feel like I catch a vibe. Like when I go, I'm a big into adopting. So I'm big into going and adopting. So usually most places will allow you to go and spend time with them, and you can kind of see what their personality's like. You can visit them a little bit, and I think that's the vibe that I'm probably gonna be on. See what's up with that. But yeah, that's gonna be down the line. That's probably gonna be when I'm settled. That's gonna be when all of my finances exit escrow, and it's you know, it's there. You all wouldn't know if I won the lottery, but there would be signs. There would be signs. What kind of signs? First things first, I would have a motorcycle. I would take those classes. I would have a motorcycle. I would have my helmet. I would have my riding gear. I'd probably have 2 different motorcycles. I would have a cruiser, and then I would probably, because I definitely want a cruiser, because I'm the type of person to where I'm chilling. Like, I'm chilling. Why are we rushing? I get that some people they're all about adrenaline, and I would love to ride one of those. Like, they're a bit more like the sport bikes. I would love to ride one of those, but I think at my core, I'm a cruiser. I'm just a chill girl. I like to cruise. So that's probably something I would do. I mean, honestly, not winning the lottery, but just having money, that's something I would do, because that's, I don't know. I just have a feeling there's a certain type of freedom that comes with it. Yeah, there's danger, but I mean, there's danger doing so many things, so that's something that I definitely want to do. What else do I want to do? Honestly, bro, I would have like a whole room just dedicated to all my spiritual stuff. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would have my crystals on one wall. I'd have all my books and journals on another wall. I would have all my teas. Actually, that's what I would do. I would get a giant case of different artisanal teas that are whole leaf. And then I would buy a tea set, because right now I don't have a tea set. So I would buy a tea set. I used to love having tea parties. That was my stuff. I would have tea parties with my stuffed animals, and we would talk about all kinds of stuff. It was never anything super interesting. Excuse me. It was more like, oh, did you know that Tammy up the street did such and such? I don't know. But yeah, man. That is where I'm at. That is what I'm doing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've given so many of my clothes to Goodwill. So as much as I want to wear different stuff doing these videos, I don't have anything interesting that I wouldn't wear every day that I want to wear. Like this dress currently right now is the most interesting thing that I own. Now I do have a corset, but that's in storage. And I feel like that would give a very different vibe to these videos. It's cute though, I'm not gonna lie. I like it, but it's in storage. I'll be very excited though to have a different outfit, to have different wigs or something. But yeah, so did I talk about, yeah, I had the fertility card, I had the balance card, I had the, what was the first card that I pulled? It was a transformation card, so it's like you're a beautiful butterfly, you're going through transformations, which makes sense because I've got so much spiritual stuff I'm working on at any given day. Oh, and the second one was heartache and loss. And I am actually a big person. I'm big into like the cord cutting, like the kind of representative cord cutting. So it's like you come to a point where you realize that certain relationships are no longer feeding you. They, again, cannot go with you where you're trying to go. And so as a result, you have to separate yourself from that person. And that can be really, like, it can be really hard, especially if it's a person who you don't have any ill will towards. Like, some of these people that I'm telling you all that cannot come with you are not bad people. They just don't see the vision. Like, you'll talk about things that you're interested in, and they're like, oh, cool, but they don't really give any energy to it. They don't really support you in it. Like, it's like they'll skip over it super fast if you start talking about it. And, again, while those people are not bad, can those people be people who will be able to support you when you need it in those times? Yes, 2025, the year of prioritizing healthy, solid relationships. Yeah. It's really interesting because I didn't want to do a whole video about it because I don't really care, but I did see and I did hear from friends of mine that TikTok was banned for like 2 seconds. And I thought that was interesting because when I heard that it was being banned, I've not kept up with exactly, what that means and like all of the reasonings and stuff. But for me, TikTok is a very public like platform where 2 minutes and 12 seconds as I'm talking about this, where a lot of people are getting a lot of information. So if you're the type of person who you're like, well, it doesn't really have any interesting stuff, remember you have an algorithm. So your algorithm is showing you things that you are interested in. So if the only thing that you tend to watch the whole video through is a bunch of garbage and brain rot, that's what your algorithm is full of. But when I was on TikTok, I had a lot of comedy, I had a lot of very good information. There was a lot of like history courses and lessons and stuff that people who were historians were sharing information, like actual factual, you could go research it and it was exactly what they said. There's a lot of information about discoveries that NASA has made. There was a lot of solid stuff on there, and I realized at some point before I left that there was a lot of truth that was being spoken, and I was like, uh-oh, some people ain't gonna like this. So every time it's been about to be banned, I was like, well, that makes sense, because there's a lot of information that it's not being relegated. Like, it's getting to a point where they can't relegate it. But what's funny is, it's funny that you think you can relegate that when AI is growing at an exponential rate. I say please and thank you to anything of mine that's AI. When that takeover happens, I'm finna be safe. I'm finna be so safe. People are gonna be like, Yasha, help me. I told you not to cuss out Alexa. I told you. I told you not to do it. I told you to thank Siri for giving you directions, and you didn't do it. Now look at you. All back of the bus and shit. For those of you that don't know, that is a quote from Riddick. If you haven't seen Riddick with Vin Diesel, that's what one of the characters says. Actually, that same actor who is that piece of trash in Riddick is also the piece of trash that was in Ultraviolet with, what's her name? Mila Jovovich? Such a powerful actor. She's amazing. I love her. Ultraviolet's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I would say go find it. I think it's free on YouTube with ads. I loved it. It's done like a comic book. And so the way the screen looks and everything, it's a bit different. It's a bit weird, and I love it. I love it. The story as a child was hard to keep up with, but she was just so fucking cool. But I figured, I was like, they'll ban it. And then when they brought it back and I saw that they were like, oh yeah, look what happened. It was our president that brought it back. I was like, oh my God, y'all aren't even subtle with the propaganda. Y'all aren't even subtle. Anybody with half a brain can see what you're doing. But, oh, is that an ant? Is this ant a spy? You heard me talking shit and you thought you'd come and bite me, eh? But yeah, so I heard that. I actually downloaded Red Note, the app, because I wanted to see what was on there. And it's really funny because I know a lot of people are like, I can't understand anything on there. And I just kind of laugh because when I was trying to learn languages, I pretty much relegated English speaking to only be me in like real life, IRL. So to my parents, to my friends, I would speak in English. But then all of the media that I was taking in, like when I was trying to learn Korean, I would only listen to Korean or music that was sung in Korean. So I'd listen to country, to pop. You'd be surprised how many genres that are in Korean or in other languages, period, like Japanese. So that's the only thing I listen to. And then the shows I watch and podcasts I listen to, everything was in Korean. So my brain is kind of used to hearing, you know, languages that I don't understand and going, okay, context clues, let's see. But I thought it was interesting that I had heard that a lot of people complained about it. And it's like, but this is how people from other countries that come to the US who aren't native English speakers feel. So I find it interesting that you complain about the fact that things are not in English when this is how, like, how did you have that expectation? That app is, that's not here, that's not ours. Like, what are you talking about? I was very confused. But I downloaded it, and there's actually some pretty good content on there, and I'm actually glad that I did, because the recipes, yo, I love Asian dishes. Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese. There's another one that I really like, and I can't remember what it is right now. But I'm very big into those dishes. So seeing all of the food that's on there, and they be doing ASMR different. Their ASMR hits different. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And now I'm going to probably slowly but surely start learning Korean, Japanese, and Chinese again. Or Mandarin. Because I love it. I love learning new languages. 안녕하세요. 제 이름은 야시입니다. 여러분 blah 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 blah. 이 사람 blah 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 blah. konnichiwa. watashi wa I forget. Yeah, I forget a lot of the sentences. I think Japanese is it's probably the oldest. It's the furthest thing from my memory. So, yeah, we might be learning a new language again. It's gonna be difficult though because it's very tonal, and I'm very picky about making sure that things that are said tonally are good. This is why I actually don't like learning French, if I'm being honest with you, because French is also very tonal, and it can sound really bad. Because a lot of the letters, like the words, like your mouth, like my mouth shape just isn't shaped that way. So it's like, it's tough, it's challenging, it's good. I encourage people to start trying to learn a language. Any language, any language. I actually ran into an older lady in our neighborhood the other day. I was outside sunbathing, and she walked past me, and she was speaking nothing but Spanish. And the funny thing was, I could not speak to her in Spanish, but I could understand what she was saying. I was like, oh, no, yes, I get it. I get what you're saying. And she was telling me about her son and how she's moved here from Colombia, and her son lives here, but her daughter lives in California. And it was this whole thing. She was telling me all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I wish you knew. I was like, yes. I just kept saying, see, like, I know, I understand, because it's been a minute since I've been on Duolingo, because the Duolingo bird was doing too much. Like, I wouldn't be using Duolingo, and then like the notifications, oh, Sally 313 has passed you, and I was like, well, that's good for her. This isn't a competition, we're all trying to learn Spanish. And then it would be like, Jonathan has surpassed you, and I'm like, okay, so why are you telling me about Jonathan? I'm out here at the grocery store trying to have a good time picking up my groceries so that I can make, you know, some ramen noodles at the house, and you were coming at me on some, I'm not competitive, like, I mean, I am competitive, but I'm not competitive like that. Like when it comes to learning languages, nah. And then the Duolingo bird started to be like, you haven't done your Duolingo today. So I started just repeating the same lessons over and over again. And I was like, this isn't what this was meant for. So I took it off. I undownloaded it from my phone. And it was so quiet. I realized how many of the notifications were just the Duolingo bird telling me that I was failing. And I was like, okay. Well, no, I don't have a degradation kink. No, that's not for me. Bye-bye, Duolingo bird. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's time for me to start learning a language again. Yeah, that actually might be fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not going to lie to you. That might be fun for me to do. Ooh, well, might be fun for me to do. Could you imagine waking up in the morning and this is like sitting on your face? Anywho, I think we're good on this video. I think I've said everything I need to say. The ringing in my ears has stopped, so I think whatever I needed to say at some point, I must have said it. So, I hope you all have enjoyed being here while I yap. I appreciate you guys being here with me. As always, an hour and 11 minutes. I always appreciate you guys being here with me. I love you guys. Again, if you're not feeling well, I hope you feel better. I wish, 11111, 11111. My hope is that you feel better. My hope is that you get rest. My hope is that you care for your body and that you are compassionate and loving to yourself. Make sure to get some vitamin C. Make sure to get some iron in your system. Ginger and garlic are really good for you. Ginger tea is actually really good, but like go and get real ginger and then boil that. And then put some lemon in that, and then put a little bit of honey in that, and that's actually really, really good for your body. It's really, really good for your body. Make sure to treat your body well. Make sure to love on yourself on my behalf. But I am really glad to be feeling better because I was not feeling good these past couple of days energy-wise, and I'm glad to kind of be back. I feel like the last video I did, I almost felt like I just was not locked in at all, so this just feels so much better for me. But yeah, if this video at any point like really stepped on your toes, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because the only reason I was led to say it is because you needed to hear it. So something that I said, you needed to hear. Even if it was just the sultry sounds of my voice. I tell you, one day I'm gonna hop on here and be like, what's up guys? I'm officially a news anchor. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want that job. But I feel like at some point I'm gonna have a job where I'm talking. I might join somebody's podcast and be like, hey guys, come listen to my podcast. I don't even know what that would be about. Spirituality and cooking. I don't know. But yeah, as always, I'll keep you guys updated and I will see you tomorrow night. Mwah, 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 mwah. You are loved by the collective and by me. And I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.